So I want to talk about how many things in this world are very repetitive, and we have to get used to being repetitive. We have this view in our mind that to do something that's innovative, entrepreneurial, or to do something that is going to lead to success, whatever that might look like, it has to require you to do different things all the time. So you can imagine many of us sort of think that we have to do 10,000 innovative things before something happens. And in fact, it's the complete opposite. You have to do the same thing 10,000 times before something actually happens in your life. And the reason why you want to do that is because that you're never going to be able to pick up on something. You're never going to be able to see the thing that is really truly innovative unless you do it 10,000 times. And then the other thing that you forget about is that to improve and to get better, to actually sort of get the resources you need to make a difference in what you're actually doing, you have to do it 10,000 times before somebody actually picks up on that thing. So you might watch all of these videos, you might think that, oh man, this person is just completely tenacious, or they don't know what they're doing because they're doing all of these videos, or they're looking at the project that I'm building, the Reciprocity project, which is a sharing economy editing platform. You might think that this is rinky-dinky, or it doesn't make any sense because it is just kind of, that there's really nothing there. But in fact, what you're doing, or what I'm doing, is continuously improving and continuously building on the thing that I'm building until it becomes an actual thing. And then in 10 years from now, you can look back at all of these videos and see what it actually takes to actually build something like this, because it doesn't exist. Somebody needs to build this thing out, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of repetition. And so I'm trying to actually show you that to do anything that's important, to do anything that requires, that is going to lead to some sort of long-term success, or that's going to sort of be different in this world, it does require a tremendous amount of repetition. And now, what does this repetition feel like? It feels like you are in Groundhog Day. You wake up, you do the same thing every day. You wake up and it seems like, oh man, I have to do this again, I have to do this again, and nothing really changes. But what you forget and what you don't realize, if you look back, if you go throughout all of the, maybe even you could take that exercise, just go look at some of the older videos that I've did before, and you could see how much things have improved and what has happened. And, there's reasons for this. What is happening is the technology is improving, right? The video camera, for example, I still use a cell phone, but cell phones have improved dramatically in the last 5 years. So things look better. That various different resources have been given to me. Maybe I've sort of learned the ability to speak a little bit better. Maybe I carry myself a little bit better. Maybe I'm more comfortable. But all of those things actually take a lot of time. They take a lot of work by the time you actually sort of figure out what is going on. And then you forget that what is happening is I'm figuring out what everybody else wants, and then you folks are figuring out what I am about. And that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It takes what's going to happen typically with almost anything like this. So this is how the general sort of acquisition for marketing or customers or whatever, anything in life, this is the way it works, is you're going to be exposed to something, and the first time you're exposed, you're going to say, this is ridiculous, this is stupid, why is this person doing this thing? Then you might get exposed again, you might bump into it, and you're like, I don't know if I get it. Then it might happen a third time, and you actually listen to what I'm saying, and you're starting to sort of, you're starting to recognize me, and it becomes kind of like familiar, and you're like, this person actually is saying something. And then by the time you hear this 10, 20, 30, 40 times, you're starting to think, hey, you know what, I actually believe in this thing. This is a real thing, and something's going to happen with this. I don't see it right now, but something's going to happen. By the time you hear it 100 times, and maybe it's 200 times, you hear the same message, the same sort of stuff that I'm doing, pretty soon you're like, man, I actually want to do something about this thing, and I actually want to participate in a more meaningful way. That's how everything works with this kind of stuff. And it takes a tremendous amount of effort. It takes a lot of time. And for you that's doing it, whether you're you're going into university, you're working your job, and you're 5 years into your job, whether you are, you're 50 years old and you're becoming, maybe you're becoming a manager for the first time, whatever that looks like. Well, every time that you go through this, it's going to seem like it's very repetitive and very little is going to happen. And then there'll be one day, there'll be something that will happen. There'll be this gradual change, or maybe it's even a very much a distinct change. But for you, it's been very gradual until you get to the point where actually something is happening. And so don't get upset with the grind. Remember, it's going to take you 10,000 times of doing the same thing before something actually happens. So right now, if you look at what I'm at, I think I'm at like 1,500 videos or something like that on YouTube. I'm still at the beginning. I've got so many more lessons, thoughts, things like that before I actually hit that 10,000 times before something actually happens. It is going to be, I'm going to be around for a long time. And at that moment, we can come back and look at this and say, hey, you know what? This thing actually happened. So with that, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care and have a wonderful day.